1. Why did the British first come to India? A. To conquer and colonize the country. B. To establish diplomatic relations with the Indian rulers. C. To trade through the East India Company. Please think through the answers. Answer: C. To trade through the East India Company. 2. When did the East India Company get the right to control revenue and civil justice in Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa? A. 1600. B. 1765. C. 1858. Please think through the answers. Answer: B. 1765. 3. What happened after the East India Company got the control over revenue and civil justice? A. The company started ruling over parts of India. B. The company stopped trading in India. C. The Indian rulers took control over the company. Please think through the answers. Answer: A. The company started ruling over parts of India. 4. Why did the British Crown take over rule in India in 1858? A. Because the Indian rulers invited them to take over. B. Because the East India Company was not doing a good job. C. Because of a rebellion. Please think through the answers. Answer: C. Because of a rebellion. 5. When did India gain independence? A. 1765. B. 1947. C. 1950. Please think through the answers. Answer: B. 1947. 6. Who made the Indian Constitution? A. The British Crown. B. The Indian rulers. C. The Constituent Assembly. Answer: C. The Constituent Assembly. 7. How did British rule impact the Indian Constitution? A. It had no impact. B. It had a small impact. C. It had a big impact. Answer: C. It had a big impact. 8. What were the two periods in which British rule is divided? A. The colonial rule and the crown rule. B. The trading rule and the territorial rule. C. The company rule and the crown rule. Answer: C. The company rule and the crown rule. 9. What was the purpose of the Constituent Assembly formed in 1946? A. To create a new empire. B. To create a new constitution for India. C. To elect a new Prime Minister. Answer: B. To create a new constitution for India. 10. When was India's constitution established? A. January 26, 1947. B. January 26, 1950. C. August 15, 1947. Answer B. January 26, 1950. 11. What were the two major headings that events during British rule are divided into? A. The British rule and the Indian rule. B. The Company rule and the Crown rule. C. The East India rule and the South India rule. Answer B. The Company rule and the Crown rule. 12. What was the Regulating Act of 1773? A. It established the political and administrative functions of the East India Company in India. B. It was an act that made India a crown colony. C. It was an act that abolished the East India Company. Answer A. It established the political and administrative functions of the East India Company in India. 13. Who was the first Governor General of Bengal under the Regulating Act of 1773? A. Lord Canning. B. Lord Dalhousie. C. Lord Warren Hastings. Answer C. Lord Warren Hastings. 14. What was the initial political status of the three presidencies in India? A. They were independent of each other. B. They were governed by the British Parliament. C. They were ruled by the East India Company. Answer A. They were independent of each other. 15. What did the Regulating Act of 1773 do to the governors of Bombay and Madras presidencies? A. It made them independent of the Governor General of Bengal. B. It made them subordinate to the Governor General of Bengal. C. It abolished their political status. Answer B. It made them subordinate to the Governor General of Bengal. 16. What did the Regulating Act of 1773 do to the private trade of the company's servants? A. It allowed them to continue in private trade. B. It stopped them from doing private trade. C. It limited their private trade activities. Answer B. It stopped them from doing private trade.
17. What did the Regulating Act of 1773 require the Court of Directors to do? A. To report on its revenue and administration in India. B. To stop trading with Indian merchants. C. To merge with the British government. Answer A. To report on its revenue and administration in India.
18. What was the significance of the Regulating Act of 1773 in India's constitutional history? A. It abolished the East India Company. B. It established the foundation for central administration in India. C. It gave India independence. Answer B. It established the foundation for central administration in India. 19. What was the purpose of the Amending Act of 1781? A. To punish the servants of the company for their actions. B. To rectify the defects of the Regulating Act of 1773. C. To increase the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. D. None of the above. Answer B. To rectify the defects of the Regulating Act of 1773. 20. Who was exempted from the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court under the Amending Act of 1781? A. The Governor General and the Council. B. Servants of the company. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. Answer C. Both A and B. 21. Which matters were excluded from the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court under the Amending Act of 1781? A. Revenue matters. B. Matters arising in the collection of revenue. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. Answer C. Both A and B.
22. Who did the Amending Act of 1781 provide jurisdiction to the Supreme Court over? A. Inhabitants of Calcutta. B. British Parliament. C. Provincial courts. D. None of the above. Answer A. Inhabitants of Calcutta.
23. What law were defendants required to be tried under by the Supreme Court, according to the Amending Act of 1781? A. Hindu law. B. Christian law. C. Islamic law. D. None of the above. Answer A. Hindu law for Hindus and Islamic law for Muslims. 24. Where were appeals from the provincial courts to be taken to, according to the Amending Act of 1781? A. Supreme Court. B. The Governor General in Council. C. The British Parliament. D. None of the above. Answer B. The Governor General in Council. 25. Who was empowered to frame regulations for the provincial courts and councils by the Amending Act of 1781? A. The Governor General and the Council. B. The Supreme Court. C. Inhabitants of Calcutta. D. None of the above. Answer A. The Governor General and the Council. 26. When was the Amending Act of 1781 passed? A. 1773. B. 1781. C. 1790. D. None of the above. Answer B. 1781. 27. What was the main goal of the Amending Act of 1781? A. To punish the servants of the company for their actions. B. To increase the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. C. To improve the functioning of the legal system in British India. D. None of the above. Answer C. To improve the functioning of the legal system in British India. 28. What was the Amending Act of 1781 also known as? A. Regulating Act of 1773. B. Act of Settlement. C. Supreme Court Act. D. None of the above. Answer B. Act of Settlement.